What's up everybody, I'm Derek, this is Rocking eForge, and today I'm going to be using this random piece of scrap that looks sort of like a small, maybe trailer leaf spring. It does have some mushrooming as if it was struck on, and not sharpened edge, but you know, kind of a bevel almost to it here at the end. Not sure what this would have been used for before it got to me, but I'm hoping it is some pretty good steel. I'm going to toss this in the forge, and I'm going to forge a survival knife. So let's get rocking. This video is going to be primarily just voiceover when I need it, but not my typical tutorial style, talking through every little step, mostly in the interest of time and maintaining focus. So I'm just going to go through, show you my process. Go ahead and feel free to critique me down in the comment section if you think I'm doing something wrong, or ask questions if you're not sure on what I did. Now I've got this about 1/4 inch at the spine and the edge. Before I finalize the length of this and cut it off the main bar, I'm going to see what I can do with the cross peen and try to lengthen things out a little bit. All right, so this cooled down over the course of about an hour. I've got this cut off now, and I'm gonna start working on the handle. Now, I want the handle to be long enough to actually fit my hand, and then also a finger choil to get myself enough room to choke up if I want to on the blade. But we're getting there. And if you're thinking, oh no, Derek at Rocking eForge, you forged your handle on the wrong side of the stock. Now everything's backwards and going the wrong direction. No, this is going to be the cutting edge of the knife. And while I've got this preform probably a little too over exaggerated, I am going to spread out the edge by forging in the bevel, which is going to spread the edge and recorrect the material back toward the spine. I'm gonna put a little pinky choil. I don't know if that's the right word for that. And I'll grind in the rest of that using the grinder. I think we're pretty close in. So I'm gonna spin this around and then start working on forging in the bevel and getting this blade to final shape. And I'm gonna line this over the step of the anvil. And as you can see, that's already started to spread the edge so that the whole blade bends almost back toward the spine and everything straightens out. I got a lot of grinding to do with the choils and stuff, but I think that is all I'm going to do in the forging process. Now, in the interest of having a good knife, presuming this is good knife quality steel, I am going to thermocycle this a couple of times, let this cool down in the forge overnight, and tomorrow I will get to the grinding phase. I take it back. I'm going to put my touch mark in, and then I will do that thermocycling. All right, I lied. I'm gonna actually do a full annealing cycle by burying the piece in wood ash. I'm gonna let that cool down very, very slowly overnight, and that'll help relieve all of the stress that has been put into the material during the forging process. All right, so it is the next day. Definitely hasn't been 96 hours. And I am ready to get this thing out of the ash. Honestly, that feels great in the hand. Let's go get this cleaned up on the grinder, and we'll get this thing all finished up. All right, so hard to tell, but I've got a little bit of a warp along the spine from the handle to the tip, slight warp. So I'm gonna toss this in the fire and straighten everything out before I go any further, because I don't wanna continue to grind this into more of a problem. But I think it's turning out pretty well so far. I think I've got the banana shape out of the spine. I noticed the edge is a little out of alignment. Really, it's right here at the ricasso, or right here. So I'm gonna do one more heat and just work on that little spot, and then we'll get back to the grinding. All right, so we're going back to the grinder. I'm gonna start working on the bevels, and I'm gonna put this pretty awesome carbide guard on here so I can get consistent plunge lines on both sides of the blade at the same point. Let's get going. With the grinding done, it is time to go heat treat. All right, so I've got my forge set about as low as I can, because it still gets pretty darn hot even at the lowest setting before it starts to sputter. And I'm just gonna run this blade in and out of the forge until I get to a dull orange color. And then I'm gonna quench in oil. I'm gonna treat this like it's a medium to high carbon 10 series steel. So I'm just gonna quench in oil. And this oil is preheated to about 130 degrees. And that's just by heating up a different bar that I did off camera. So I've got an actual oven thermometer in here to keep track of temperature a little bit better. I'm gonna toss this in here, but it's only getting to be about 325 in here according to the thermometer, so I'm gonna crank the heat slowly until I get to 350 fairly consistently. And then once I get to 350, I'm gonna leave this in here for 2 hours, turn off the oven, let it cool down slowly in the oven, and do that for a second cycle for tempering the steel to make sure it's not quite as hard and glass-like after the quench. All right, so the process of polishing a knife is really a matter of going up in grits on the belt grinder or hand sanding if you were doing it that way, and sanding in different orientations and looking for each of the spots where the grind marks from the previous grit are still present on the blade, and that is a low spot that you have to grind everything down to before you move on to the next grit. All right, so I've got these pieces of what I think are curly maple. I'm honestly not sure. They were just bookend pieces that I bought a while ago. And I've already got this marked out on one side. I'm basically gonna make the scales such that they come up to about halfway through the finger choil. What we're gonna do is head to the bandsaw and cut out the negative portions of the handle scales, so I've got a little less that I have to grind through. I am going to affix these together, and I want to make sure that I am taping these in the same way. So I want this to go this way, which means I need to tape this side so that I can glue them together. I'm going to do a quick drip, barely any, in a couple spots of just simple super glue, and we'll glue the two pieces together, lining everything up as best I can. I'll let this go ahead and set, and then we'll move to the bandsaw. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I have marked out with a center punch the locations where I wanna drill the holes for the pin stock. I'm going to drill this into the tang of the knife first in order to just make sure I get through the knife steel, and then I'm going to lay this over the top of the scales, still glued together, and drill through, making sure everything lines up fine into the scales so that the holes line up perfectly. And I'm making sure that the knife is, flat and there's no angle or anything to it. All right, so now that I've got the holes drilled, I'm just going to use a chisel to separate the two pieces, or the two scales. I'm going to grind off a 45-degree angle on each of the outside of these scales. Then I'll mix some epoxy, glue everything up, and we'll leave it overnight to solidify. And I've got this super cool precision applicator of 5-minute epoxy, which actually mixes the two-part epoxy through the tube and then allows you to apply it at the tip. This is kind of a pain. Don't do this, by the way. This is a huge pain in the butt. All right, so I've got this clamped up. I'm gonna leave this overnight to set up, and then we'll head back to the grinder to finalize the shape of the handle and get everything all finished up. All right, and then as a final step, I'm going to soak the handle in some boiled linseed oil, and then I'll pull it out, wipe off the excess, let that dry out, and I will be all finished with this knife. This is going to now weep. This is going to... And that is going to do it for this knife. I think it turned out pretty well. I'm no professional knife maker by any means, but this is definitely some of the best work I've done on a knife on this channel. Now, I will be making a leather sheath for this knife in the future, so if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you want to support me in the channel further, please consider becoming an honorary striker on my Patreon. That link is in the description below the video, or please consider becoming a member on my YouTube channel. And as always, keep on rocking.